Welcome to yet another episode on the platform of Alphos e-learning. Today we look at one of the beautiful episodes given in our junior inter textbook of Telangana Intermediate Board. The second story included in your junior inter English textbook titled How Much Land Does a Man Need? How much land does a man need? It's a question. The title is a question, thought-provoking question by the world's famous novelist. I should say the world's greatest novelist. Students, can you name him? The Russian novelist Count Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy, in English known as Leo Tolstoy. Students, no doubt this name, Leo Tolstoy, is a familiar name among learners. I hope you might have learned a number of stories of Leo Tolstoy. The present story, How Much Land Does a Man Need?, is an interesting episode of the life of a poor farmer. Students, suppose you were taken to an ice cream parlor and you are told that you could eat as many as ice creams you wished. How many would you eat? 1, 2, 3, 5, 10. Students, but what would happen if you ate so many? What would happen if you ate so many? Many people think in the same way. People think that they would be happy if they had a lot of wealth. People think that they would be happy if they have all the luxuries in life. People think that they would be happy if they had all richness on this earth. But remember, students, nothing of this world can give you real happiness. Materialistic things of this world cannot give you real happiness in this life on this earth. This is the message conveyed by Leo Tolstoy, this Russian novelist, the world's greatest novelist, through this interesting story, How Much Land Does a Man Need? Students, to tell about Leo Tolstoy, this Russian writer, his best known novels are War and Peace, Anna Karenina. These are the most outstanding works of Leo Tolstoy. His doctrine, he is a well-known moral and religious teacher. The present story also gives us a profound moral at the end. This moral thinker, through his doctrine of non-violent civil disobedience, influenced the great thinkers and leaders like our beloved Gandhiji, Martin Luther King Jr. These great personalities of 20th century were influenced by the doctrine of Leo Tolstoy. Imagine the greatness of Leo Tolstoy then. The present story traces the downfall of a man who is overcome by greed. Students, you know, greed takes man to his doom. Greed leads man to his death. That is the statement I would like to give at the beginning of this interesting story. Students, The protagonist of this story is a poor farmer named Paham. Students, the names may be a bit strange to you because these are all Russian names written by a Russian novelist. Paham is the protagonist of this story. He is a poor farmer at the beginning of the story who has much greed, much desire to become rich in life and to acquire more and more and more. He is never satisfied, never he achieves contentment in life, always greedy. This is what we see in this story. When the story opens, we see Paham's house. There, his wife's elder sister, she has come to pay a visit. The elder sister who has paid a visit to the younger sister, and both of them are at the tea talking. Students, tea talking. The elder one began telling, "See, my sister, our life is of much advantage. See, we have," yes, she started telling about the greatness of, advantages of leading a town life, boasting of the advantages of town life. On the contrary, the younger sister, Paham's wife, younger sister, she was trying to say, what? See our life, the village life, how peaceful we are, how happy we are. Actually, I don't want to change my way of life for yours because our life is the best. Paham, who was inside the house, gave an ear to the words, to the conversation of the sisters. Listened to the woman's chatter. He too told himself, yes, it's perfectly true. See, we peasants here, we have no time even to let any nonsense enter our head. We have a lot of work in our farm. The only trouble we face is we haven't enough land. The only problem we face is we haven't enough land. If I had plenty of land, I shouldn't even fear the devil himself. Students, listen to the statement of Paham. If I had plenty of land, I shouldn't even fear the devil himself. Students, this is very, very dangerous. You can promise, call the name of God, but you should never call the name of the devil. Devil will throw a task, a challenge, a tussle to you and see your doom, your death. Here, Paham was challenging the devil. If I had plenty of land, I shouldn't even care the devil himself. Students, the devil heard all these told by Paham. Devil was happy. He was pleased, and immediately the devil thought, yes, we will have a tussle. Paham, we will have a tussle. I will give you land enough, and by means of giving you enough land, I will take you into my power. See, students, always the thought of the devil is so. Devil always tempts us by giving more and more. When we are given more and more, we fall victim, prey to the devil. This is how devil makes us his subordinates. So devil took up this challenge, took up this tussle. One day, close to their village, there lived a lady, a small landowner. Paham came to know that she was going to sell her property, a large estate. She intended to sell it to an overseer, her overseer, who was a retired soldier. Through some peasants, Paham came to know this. Why selling the land to an overseer? Immediately, one of the peasants approached the lady, the landowner lady, and asked, why don't you give the land to us, sell your land to us? We are ready to offer you a better price. When we offer you a better price, why don't you? The lady thought for a while and then agreed. Okay, you can have my land. Thus, the land was taken by the farmers on behalf of their commune. Students, what is meant by commune? Commune is a system of cultivation in which all the many farmers group together, and in a group they cultivate the land and share the profit. That is called commune. So on behalf of the commune, the peasants bought the land. Presently, Paham also heard about this, and he came to know that the land can be bought and only 50% of the land's amount is to be given in cash. The rest, the 50%, can be paid a year later. Paham was happy. Oh, we shall pay 50% now, and the rest can be paid at the end of the year. At the end of the year, Paham too came to an agreement with that lady and bought 40 acres of land. Now, Paham is no more a poor farmer. He was a rich farmer now. He was very happy. He has a lot of land. Wah, Paham was well contented. But soon, he got into quarrels with other farmers, other peasants of the commune, and he was not happy at all. One day, a peasant was passing through the village. He happened to meet Paham. The peasant told Paham, beyond the village Volga I am coming from. Beyond Volga I am coming from. Many people are there who have settled there. They have joined the commune there, and everyone who joins there get 25 acres of land granted to them. Paham was happy. He was anxious. What? Yes, that land there, beyond Volga, it was good land. And, oh God, there, rye, one of the grains children, rye, oh, they grow rice on, they grow as high as a horse. As high as a horse. Very fertile land, the peasant informed. Paham's heart was kindled with happiness, kindled with desire, and immediately he visited the place, and when he visited, what the stranger told him was true. He came back, sold all his property that he had here, got the money, and then left for the new settlement. He went over there beyond Volga and bought the land. Thus, Paham with his family reached in the new abode. See, students, for the sake of land, for the sake of making money, becoming a richer and richer landlord, he was moving from one place to the other. Now he reached his new abode. He, along with his members of the family, all of them together, there in the commune, he was given 125 acres of land. Good God, 40 acres of land he had there. Now that is sold, and here he could get 125 acres of land. Not only that, there he could use the commune pastures to pasture for the grazing of his cattle or sheep. So he could use that pasture too, communal pasture too. Wow! Paham became 10 times better off than he had been. Paham became 10 times better off than he had been. But soon, still he longed. Yes, I should get some more land, some more free land, some more hold of land I want. See, students, man never gets his greed satiated. Man never gets his greed satisfied. Paham was a greedy farmer. He still wanted some more freehold of land, some more freehold of land. So Paham started looking for some more land where he could buy. Around that time, a dealer, a tradesman happened to pass that way, and one day he stopped in front of Paham's house. The dealer said, "See, I am returning from the land of the Bashkirs." Students, Bashkirs are a certain community of people living there in Russia. They have lot of acres, unlimited property, fertile land, but they never work hard. They live there on the steppe, on the pastures, in the tents on the pastures. I am coming from the land of the Bashkirs. Oh, it is far, far, far away, not very nearby, far away, where he could buy a land for very low price. Oh, the land is very fertile, but very, very low price. You know, the tradesman repeated, "Oh, all one need is to make friends with the Bashkirs. If you can make a friendship with the Bashkir chiefs, they are very, very, very kind people that they would give you how much land you want." What? A tradesman, what do you say? Yes, they are as simple as sheep. They are innocent people. Oh, the land there you can buy for almost nothing. Paham was very, very happy. Immediately he decided to go to the land of the Bashkirs, but it was very far. One day, Paham started towards the land of Bashkirs, taking his trusted servant along with him. It was almost 7 days' journey. On the way, he stopped at a town. Why, you know, as the tradesman told, you can make the chiefs of the Bashkirs happy. If they are delighted, they would almost give land for nothing. Because of this, on the way to the Bashkirs' land, Paham stopped at a town. He bought a case of tea powder, a case of tea, some wine, and some other gifts for the sake of the chiefs of the Bashkirs. On the seventh day, Paham reached the land where the Bashkirs had pitched their tent. It was all just the tradesman, as he said, everything the same, fertile, unlimited land around. And there in the tent, the Bashkirs living, simple people, they lived on the steppes by the side of the river. In simple tents they lived. They did not till the ground. They did not work at all summer long. They never thought of doing any work at all. Paham reached there. As he reached there, Paham took out the presents from the cart he had been in. The servant also helped him to take them out. Then he took them and distributed to the Bashkirs. The Bashkirs received them with happiness. They were delighted. Then, after receiving the gifts, presents brought by Paham, the delighted Bashkirs asked him, "Come on, what do you want? What do you want? What pleases you most here? We are delighted of the presents you have given us. Now, a peasant, tell us, what do you want? What makes you more happy here?" Paham replied, "I want your land. I want your land. It is your land that makes me very happy here. It is my land that makes me very happy here. The land, very cultivable, very fertile land that you have. This is what I want." Bashkirs happily said, "Done. Done." They agreed to give Paham as much as land he wanted. "Come on, tell me, O farmer, how much land do you want?" As they were talking like this, the chief of the Bashkirs comes there. The chief of the Bashkirs came there. He had a fox fur cap. And as he came, Paham immediately called his servant, "Hey servant, come on, get the gifts." Immediately the presents were fetched, the best ones. It was a dressing gown for the chief and 5 pounds of tea powder. He offered them to the chief of the Bashkirs. The chief accepted them. And then the chief asked Paham, tell me, you can choose the land you want here. The whole land is ours. You can choose whatever piece of land you like. Paham looked around. He was very greedy, very much ambitious to have this land. Immediately, on the compulsion, insistence of Paham, chief of the Bashkirs agreed, "Okay, we will have a deed of the property sealed." Because Paham compelled for a deed agreement. Deed, I mean students, agreement. The deed of property, the deed to be properly sealed. Documentation. Then Paham asked the chief, "Oh chief, what will be the price of your land?" Chief said, "Our price is always the same." Always the same? Yes, it is always the same. 1,000 rubles a day. What? 1,000 rubles. Students, rubles, Russian currency. 1,000 rubles a day. Paham did not understand. What is that measure? A day? How many acres would that be? How many acres would a day be? Mister, we do not know how to think about it. What we say is, we sell our land by the day. By the day. We mean, as much as you can go round on your feet in a day is yours. What? Paham could not still understand. As much as land you can go around in a day on your feet is yours. Paham seemed to be very happy. What? From morning to evening, how much land I can walk around, that much land is mine. Strange, but fortunate condition. Very good. But immediately, chief of the Bashkirs added one condition. But there is one condition. Huh? Yes, if you do not return on the same day to the spot from where you started, your money, 1,000 rubles, will be lost. You may make as large as circuit you can go around before the sun sets. And before the sun sets, you must return to the spot from where you started at the sunrise. All the land you go around is yours. Paham was delighted, very happy. He decided, yes, tomorrow early morning I will start and I will cover how much land I can. He once again looked around. The fertile land attracted him very much, and he thought and dreamt of the next morning. Students, Paham that night lay on his bed. But he could not sleep. He was thinking of the next morning. He kept thinking about the land he is going to get. Later, sometime in the night, Paham dozed off. And in his sleep, he had a dream. He saw in the dream the Bashkar chief rolling about on the land, laughing, rolling down, laughing. He did not understand. He came a bit closer and looked at it. When he came closer and looked at it, good God, it was not Bashkir, the chief. It was the dealer who had told him about the land. In the dream, when he saw the dealer, he came a bit more nearer and looked at it. When he looked closer, he saw it was not the dealer, it was the peasant who had come up from Volga. Again, a step ahead, he came closer, still closer, and when he looked at it, good God, it was the devil himself, sitting there with hooves and horns, appearing there, sitting there, chuckling, laughing aloud. And before the devil, there lay a man in dream. Paham looked closer. Who that man is? Good God! He was shocked to find that the man lying there, prostrate in front of the devil, was dead. And that dead man was Paham himself. He woke up from his sleep, jumped up, looked around. Good God! What a terrible dream it had been. He awoke, horror struck. Then looked around through the window. When he looked out, he saw, it was already early morning. He opened the door. It was already dawn. He soon called the servant. Hey servant, get up. If we are late, come on, let's go. Both of them moved towards the tent of the Bashkirs to start the work of the day. Both of them reached in front of the chief of the Bashkirs. The Bashkir got ready and started walking towards. The chief came up and stood there and said, come on, hey farmer, He stretched his hand and said, see, all this land belongs to me. Whichever direction you want to go, you can start. But where you start, the same spot you must return by sunset. All these land is ours. Whichever direction you want, you can go. Then the chief took off his fox fur cap and placed there. He was asked to give 1,000 rubles. Immediately, Paham took out the money and put there into the fox fur cap. How much, students? 1,000 rubles. He put it in the cap. Then chief of the basket said, come on, whichever direction you want, you can go. Which way better to go, you may take. No matter. Paham thought for a while, looked at all the directions. Then he turned towards the sunrise. Okay, I will walk towards the rising sun, he decided. Thus, Paham started walking towards the rising sun. Students, he walked quickly. After some time, he was not rather running, he was not rather walking. In a normal speed, he was moving. He continued walking. As he continued walking in the morning, in the early morning, with much energy, almost he covered 1,000 yards almost. Almost 1,000 yards he covered. Then when he covered that much, he just dug a little in the ground and took out a turf. Turf meaning, students, turf, a grassy piece of mud, earth with grass, a turf, and kept that turf over another turf as a mark to show till where he has come. Then he looked back. Oh, I might have almost covered 3 miles. Still there is much time. Shall I better cover in this direction 3 more miles? Then I will take a turn. Yes, he tried to move another 3 miles ahead and then tried to turn. He walked farther and farther. This time he was walking rather fast and he was at the same time getting a little exhausted too. Then he covered some more land. Then he looked back. He looked back. There the hillock where people lived. The hillock was almost scarcely visible to him. Good God, I have covered enough. This is enough. That is enough. Now I will turn. Better, I will turn left and walk leftward. I've gone far enough in this direction. Now I will turn leftward. Thus, Paham started walking leftward. Meanwhile, at lunchtime, when it was very hot, at noontime, he sat for a while and just ate some bread he had carried and drank some water too. Took rest for a little while. Then he went on. He continued walking. Students, as the day was progressing, it became very hot, terribly hot the day was, but in the terrible heat, he walked, he was feeling sleepy, he was exhausted, but he went on the long heavy way he walked, and then after a while, Paham once again looked towards the hillock. Good God, the people on the hillock could scarcely be seen. I have made this direction also very long. Maybe I should make it shorter. If not, if I am not able to make the third side shorter, I may not be able to reach by the sunset at the very point I started from. So he was a bit anxious about, uneasy about whether he would be able to reach or not. So he walked faster this time. He looked around and began walking as fast as he could. And when the third side was completed and looked at, good God, it was rather coming to the sunset. I should speed up. His legs became very tired and he was not able to walk now. He was rather panting. He was tired. He was feeling sleepy too, but he continued walking. This side, I will rather make it lopsided, because if not, I will not be able to reach. So that side, third side, when he walked, he made it lopsided. It's not a problem, because if I don't reach from where I started before the sun sets, I will not be able to win this land. As well, I would lose my 1,000 rubles too. So the thought, if I am late, made him rather speed up. Children, this time towards his goal, he was not walking, he was running. What shall I do? He thought for a while, I have gasped too much, I have grasped a lot, so I may not be able to. Oh good God, I have ruined all my affair. It's going to fail now. His heart was now beating like a hammer. Beating like a hammer, and his legs were giving up. They were giving way, and though he was afraid, he would even fall down and die because of exhaustion. Though he felt so, he could not stop because of his greed for land. As he was speeding up, there he could see at the hillock people. Good God, it is very near now. He could see the people, and he could see from where he started. Still there he could see the fox fur cap there. So he speeded up now as fast as he could. He walked. There is a plenty of land on the way. He was thinking, will I be able to enjoy this? If I do not reach there, if I do not leave, will God let me enjoy this? Oh God, I have lost my life. I have lost my life. I shall never reach the spot. I shall never reach the spot. He was running. He felt that he would fall now. His legs were giving way, but he ran with all the strength towards. Now he reached the top and he saw the cap very nearby. He uttered a cry and he felt his legs gave way beneath him. But he fell forward towards the fox fur cap and reached the caps with his hands. He reached the cap with his hands. Students, see the terrible greed of Paham. His heart was beating like a hammer. Even then, his legs were giving way. Even then, he continued running. Ah, what a fine fellow! The chief, looking at, happily said, what a fine fellow. He has gained a lot of land. Maybe the Bhaskar would be seeing for the first time a farmer who has amassed that much land in a day. The chief stood there, very happy, looking at. There Paham lies there, his hand stretched, touching the fox fur cap, which was the mark of the starting point. All were very happy. Finally, Paham's trusted servant came forward, running up towards his master, and he just tried to raise him, turn him from the falling position, just to raise him, turn him. But what the trusted servant saw, blood was flowing from the mouth and nose. From the mouth and nostrils, blood was flowing, and Paham was dead. Paham was dead. The servant turned the body of his master. See, Paham lies there, dead, blood oozing out from his mouth and nostrils. The Bashkirs looked at Paham's dead body. They clicked their tongues. Papam, poor fellow, they felt pity for him. Students, now look at the title again. How much land does a man need? How much land does a man need? Now the trusted servant will give him how much land he needed. Immediately, what would the servant do? 7 days journey from the village he has come to Bashkir's land. What the servant could do was nothing but he picked up the spade, agricultural tool, spade, and dug a grave, burial ground, dug a grave. Long enough, 6 feet long enough for Paham to lie inside. Long enough for Paham to lie inside, and the trusted servant buried his master. Students, at the end of the story, we get the answer to the question, which is the title. How much land does a man need? 6 feet from head to heels. 6 feet from head to heels was all Paham needed. No, was all you need, I need, everyone needs. Students, then why this greed in life? Why this greed in life? Remember one thing, students. When greed overtakes us, we fall prey to the devil. We become prey to the devil. See the downfall of this man, downfall of a man. His greed led him to his grave. Greed leads you to your grave. See, man equates land, money, richness, everything with happiness. We equate money, richness, property, status, everything with our happiness. But the truth is, when we die, we take nothing with us. We leave everything here and go away. Students, have you heard about the great Emperor Alexander? It is heard that Alexander, when he died, before he was buried, before his death, he informed the courtiers, when you bury me, leave one of my hands outside the burial ground. Why, you know? Let my subjects, let this world see that Alexander the Great, who conquered the whole world, became the King of Kings, acquired everything, goes empty-handed. This is a great moral, a profound moral to you and I. Greed will take us to our grave. This moral is well conveyed through this beautiful story. How much land does a man need? By the world famous Russian novelist Leo Tolstoy. Students, hope you enjoyed the story. Hope you learned the moral too. Thank you very much.